Let's talk about the most important topic. This is the most important topic, and this is the beginning of our chapter. This is the main beginning of our chapter. Let's start with the five kingdom classification. Okay, the five kingdom classification was proposed by the R.H. Whitaker in 1969, and he proposed five kingdoms. First one is kingdom Monera, second one is kingdom Protista, just you can see here, and third one is fungi, fourth one is planchi, and next one and the last one is kingdom Animalia. Okay, he includes five kingdoms, and these are the classification that are based on the cell structure and thallus organizations and the mode of nutrition, reproduction, and their phylogenetic relationship. Okay, let's discuss one by one. Okay, okay, so then the characteristics of the five kingdoms, there is a chart here that will be shown on your screen, that here is some categorization character: Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae, animal. These are the five kingdoms of plant kingdom, five kingdoms that are given by the Whitaker, and there are some subclasses. On the basis of that, they can be classified. So let's talk about Monera. In Monera, the cell types are present in the prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cells are those types of cells that are having the nucleus. uh, Pro means primitive and karyotic means nucleus. The Monera having a cell type of the prokaryotic nucleus. It means very primitive. It's a very old type of nucleus that are present in Monera. In case of cell wall in Monera, they having non-cellulosic. It means they are made from the polysaccharides with amino acid. Okay, let's talk about nuclear membrane that are present in the Monera, that is absent. It means their nucleus are known as nucleoids. Okay, we are seeing uh, this pics in next slide, but we have some data here we have to discuss about here. Okay, Monera and the body organization, the cellular type, it's a unicellular, one cell. And next one is Monera. Their mode of nutrition is the autotrophic photosynthetic. They can prepare their food with in the presence of sunlight, and they can also synthesize their food in the presence of chemicals. In the primitive nucleus, our water that are present on the earth are act as the chemical. So our primitive types of monerans, they are used the chemicals for the photosynthetics or the chemosynthetic, and they are also heterotrophics, having saprophytes and parasites. Saprophytes are the those types of organisms that can survive, that can take their nutrition from dead and decaying matter. And parasites, there are two types. It may be ectoparasite or the endoparasite. Okay, let's talk about the parasite Protista. Our next kingdom is Protista. Okay, so here we are talking about the cell type. It's having the eukaryotic types, and cell wall are present in someone and present not someone. Okay, and the nuclear membrane is present because it having the well defined nucleus, and their nucleus is covered with nuclear membrane. Their body organizations are cellular. It means, and they are also unicellular, one cell organisms, and their mode of nutrition is autotrophic. They are photosynthetics as well as heterotropics also. Let's talk about fungi. Their cell types are eukaryotics, and their cell wall is present, but in the form of chitin and polysaccharides. Okay, okay, their nuclear membranes are well defined. It means their nucleus are well bounded by nuclear membrane, and their body organism is multicellular, but it is loose tissues because their aggregations are very loose. It means we can easily wear and tear easily. Okay, their mode of nutrition is heterotrophic, saprophytic, or parasitic. Okay, and the next kingdom is plantae. The cell type is eukaryotic, and here you can see the cell wall is present, but mainly in plant cells there is a main component of their main or the most abundant uh, material that are present in plants is cellulose, and cellulose is the part of the cell wall. Okay, the next one is nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane is present, it means here is also presence of well defined nucleus. And let's talk about the body organization. Their body organizations are of tissue level or organ level also. Okay, their mode of nutrition is autotrophic, it means they using the sunlight, carbon dioxide and water to make their food in the form of glucose and other byproducts along with it, which are very beneficial to us also in the form of oxygen we can take as a breathing. So there are the only kingdom that are present on this planet are only autotrophic in nature, purely autotrophic in nature. Let's talk about the animalia. These animalia are of phylum, king sorry this is the kingdom in which we are also coming. Okay, there are many kind of things, and it means here is a cell type is a eukaryotic type. Let's talk about cell wall. Cell wall is absent, nuclear membrane is present, it means well defined nucleus is present here. Okay, let's talk about the body organization. Body organization is of tissue type, tissue level, organ level and organ system level, and their mode of nutrition is heterotrophic, it means they are holozoic, maybe saprophytic also. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, let's talk about all these kingdoms one by one. Then firstly we are going to talk about kingdom Monera. Monera are the basically class or the kingdom of bacteria, in which we can say that bacteria are the most abundant microorganism, it means they can present everywhere. It means if we take one fist of soil, it having hundreds of bacteria that are present in it. Okay, they can live into the extreme habitats such as hot spring, desert, snow and other deep oceans. It means they can also tolerate the harsh conditions which we cannot imagine. Okay, okay, there are some parasite also. Actually in this kingdom Monera, bacteria are mostly parasite because they can remain attached or remain inside into the host. They can acquire the food for their living. Okay, they are mostly consume the digested food particles, that's why their stomach region is absent. So just you can see here is some kind of pigs. Here are the some bacteria that having the lots of flagellums that which helps in swimming. Here are some bacteria which seen under the microscope, and here are the real microscopic structure where you can see lots of bacteria that are seen. Okay, on the basis of their shape, bacteria are classified into the four types. First one is cocci. They are the circle in shape, round in shape. They are in round in shape and elongated. They are known as the Vibrio. Okay, and next one is comma shape bacteria. They are known as the comma shape bacteria, and this next one is the spirillum. Okay, there are some shapes of bacteria that can be shown here. Streptococcus pneumonia that can cause the pneumonia, Clostridium tetani that's cause the tetanus, Treponema pallidum that causes the STD sexual transmitted disease, Vibrio cholera causes the typhoids. Okay, Legionella, Pneumonia, Salmonella typhi, these are the some other shapes of bacteria that can you can see here. You can pause the video and just you can see it. Okay, next one is this is the simple structure of bacteria. Here is a protecting covering that is known as the capsules. It can prevent bacteria from a harsh climatic conditions. It can survive into the very harsh climatic conditions also. And after that there is a presence of the cell wall. After that capsules, there is a presence of the cell wall. After that, plasma membrane is a permeability in nature. It can allow some solute and solvent material to pass through it. So these are also act as the diffusion in the bacteria. And it means there is also uh, fluid filled inside the bacterial cells that are known as the cytoplasm. Here is the ribosomes, which will also known as the ribosomes is also known as the protein factory of the this bacteria. Because and this is a plasmid is the extra chromosomal DNA. This is the main genome of this bacteria, but plasmid is also a type of DNA, but it is the extra chromosomal DNA. This is the pili, and this one is the flagellum, that which will help in the swimming. So bacterial structure is very simple, but they are very complex in behavior, and it shows the metabolic diversity. But in some bacteria, they are the autotrophics. It means they can synthesize foods from the organic substrates. Okay, actually, majority of the these bacterials, they cannot synthesize their food. They are dependent on the other organisms or on the dead and decaying matter for their food. So they are also known as the heterotrophics in nature. Okay, so on this kind of things, we can classify the bacteria into the two parts, mainly two parts. First one is the Archaebacteria, and next one is the Eubacteria. Archaebacteria are the primitive types of bacteria, which we it will be found when the our earth are formed. These are the halophiles. Next one is the thermoacidophiles, and this next one is the methanogens. These are the Archaebacteria. These are the very primitive kinds of nucleus. Actually, in bacteria, in this modern section, all the organisms that are come under the moderns are having the primitive kinds of nucleus. But Archaebacteria are the most primitive types of bacteria. And the next categorization of the bacteria, the eubacteria, which is the autotrophic in nature and as well as the heterotrophic in nature. Autotrophic types of bacteria, they can synthesize their food with the help of sunlight, and some eubacteria are also, they can synthesize with the help of chemicals. If the chemicals are present in their medium, they can synthesize their food with their own. Okay, and the next one is heterotrophic. Heterotrophics are those kind of bacteria that can acquire their food from the other means. Okay, in the form of other type of activities, like they can host, they having a host which they are living, and they can acquire their food particle. Their heterotrophs are also classified into the two types, that the parasitic, and next one is the saprophytic. In parasitic mode of nutrition, or the bacteria can live on the organism's body or inside the body, and they can acquire the nutritions very slowly. And but in case of saprophytic, they can acquire, then they can acquire the nutritions from the dead and decaying matter. Okay, these are the kingdom Monera bacteria. Okay, let's talk about one by one. Firstly, we are going to talk about Archaebacteria. Archaebacteria are the harshest habitats at the extreme salty areas. It means they can tolerate the harshest habitats. It means they are halophiles. It means they can tolerate the extreme salty areas. They can tolerate the hot spring. It means they are the thermoacidophiles. And marshy areas, it means they are the methanogens also. Okay, Archaebacteria are having cell wall structure for their survival in the extreme condition. I will tell you, there is a capsules that are present on their body that can tolerate him into the harsh conditions for their survival. Okay, next one, methogens are also present in the guts of the ruminant animals. It means ruminants are known as the cows, buffaloes, etc. They are produced the methane, the biogas from the dung of these animals. You already know. Okay, just you can see here the pics of some halophiles, thermoacidophiles, methanogens, and these are the some animated pics of the ruminant animals. Ruminant animals may be cow, buffaloes, or any animal that can feed onto the cellulosic material like grasses or any other green plant substance. Okay, next one is the eubacterium. Okay, eubacteria, they are the also known as the true bacteria because they have rigid cell wall and flagellum, and this flagellum helps in motility of these bacteria. They includes autotrophs because they are having the property to synthesize their food with the help of sunlight, and also they can synthesize their food within their surrounding from their surrounding environment with the help of chemicals that are present in around their atmosphere, around their environment. So that's why they are also known as heterotrophs. There are some, they can feed on to the other organisms to for the nutrition. Okay, okay, let's talk about cyanobacteria. They are the photosynthetic autotrophs. It means cyanobacteria, they are also known as the blue green algae. Just you can see here, it is also known as the blue green algae. It means cyanobacteria having the chlorophyll, that's why it having the photosynthetic kind of property, because with the help of chlorophyll they can synthesize their food with their own with the help of sunlight. Okay, they are unicellular, they are one cell organism. They can form the colonies or filamentous, and they are the marine or the terrestrial algae. It can found in the salty and terrestrial algae. They can also found in the fresh water also. The colonies are generally surrounded by gelatinous sheets because their body surfaces having a mucus layering. It's a very slippery type of uh, gelatinous sheets that are present on their body surface. They often forms blooms in the polluted water bodies. They are the big problems in the water bodies. They can consume the lots of organic or inorganic substance from the polluted water. So it is also used as a cleaner, as an in some sewage water treatment. Let's these topics we can discuss into the later videos whenever I will discuss about the sewage water treatment. Okay, and the next point, some of them fix atmospheric N2 in specialized cells called the heterocyst. Heterocyst is a very separated part, and it can having some special property. It can fix the nitrogen directly from their atmosphere into the from the atmosphere, from the atmosphere. And this kind of organisms known as nostoc and anavina. Okay, this is the exam, this is the nostoc, sorry, this is nostoc, and this is the diagrammatic structure of nostoc. And here you can see this is the anavina, here is the anavina also, this is the oscillatoria, nostoc. These all are having the heterocyst. It means they having the capability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the specialized cell, है ना? And these cells are known as the heterocyst. These are the anavina, nostoc, oscillatoria. Okay, and the next part of the eubacteria, that is the chemosynthetic autotrophs. These types of bacteria that are made their food with the help of chemicals. Just you can see here, green sulfur bacteria, purple sulfur bacteria, and vine Vibrio stagnis pumantis. These are the some bacteria that they can synthesize their food with the help of nitrate, nitrites, and ammonia. It means they can oxidize the inorganic substance. Okay, and use these nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia, and use the release energy for the ATP productions. Okay, they help in recycling nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, iron, etc. They can oxidize the inorganic substance. Okay, so this is the heterotrophic bacteria. It means this kind of bacteria They cannot synthesize their food within their body. They acquire the nutrient from the outer environment, from the host. Okay, so they have to be like parasitic or saprophytic types of symbiotic association. Okay, they are most abundant in nature. Actually, they are used in majority, and they are act as the decomposers in nature. They can decompose our dead and decaying matters, dead and decaying animals, and it is also known as the cleaner of our environment also. Okay, so the heterotropic bacteria, what are the impacts that can be on human affairs? And just you can see here, this is the lactobacillus, some kind of bacteria that are found in your stomach, and it is also a part of your curd, and it can maintain the flora of your stomach. This is the rhizobium bacteria that can live in the roots of leguminous plants, and these are the Vibrio cholera. Vibrio cholera can cause a disease like cholera, like in sense in the Heza, and this is the Salmonella typhi. And now at a present scenario, these are the most common type of bacteria that can infect most of the peoples. Okay, so whatever I will tell you, Hannah, these are the some points that are being mentioned here. They are used to make curd from milk, lactobacillus, production of antibiotics. Okay, we can, with the help of this bacteria, we can mix the antibiotics. It also help in fixing nitrogen in the legumes plants. Okay, and this nitrogen fixing bacteria can works into the in the roots, and some are pathogenic, causing diseases that like cholera, typhoid, tetanus, and citrus canker. Okay, you know, cholera is caused by the Vibrio cholera, typhoid is caused by the Salmonella typhi, and tetanus is caused by the here is not mentioned, but you know, uh, Clostridium tetani, and citrus canker is also caused by the bacterial infections. Okay, so this is all about monorans, and let's talk about monorans reproductions. Okay, so they can divide with dual mode of reproductions, it having asexual mode of reproduction as well as binary, as well as sexual mode of reproduction also. Binary reproduced mainly by fission. They can divide into the two parts, and they uh, can produce into the new organism. They can sustain the unfavorable condition, and they produce these spores, and these spores are remains up to for a very long periods. And they also reproduce by a sort of sexual reproduction. It means their DNA are transferred from one bacteria to another bacteria. These are this is type of things that are happen with the help of sex pili in mycobacteria. Actually, let's talk about monorans bacteria. There are some mycoplasmas. Mycoplasma are the most primitive, and these are the smallest living cells that are present on this planet. Okay, that can infect the human. Like pneumonia is caused by this mycoplasma. Okay, they are the living organism without a cell wall. They are the smallest living cell known, I have already told you. They can survive without oxygen. With the in the presence of oxygen, they can easily survive, but in case or in absence of oxygen, they are easily survive there also. They are pathogenic in animals and plants also.